Are we ready, Sean?
Sorry, guys.
Are you ready? We're ready here.
I'm ready.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, this is Ken. Can we get a hold of Charlie? Looks like he's muted.
I was just finishing lunch.
Oh, okay, there you go. Hi, Charlie.
You didn't want to watch me chewing, did you?
All right. Well,
We're gonna go with your cows, no.
yeah. We'll call the Wright County Planning Commission meeting to order. To start out, let's have a roll call as to who is all here and present. Charlie?
Present, yeah.
Ken?
Present.
Pat? Okay, Pat is not on yet. Dan Bravender is present and Dan Mall is present. Is Janice present? Okay, Janice is not on.
I see Pat as a participant.
Okay,
Are you there, Pat?
You see the box covering the thing?
I don't know.
okay. Well,
Thank you.
then we'll proceed. The first order of business would to be approve the minutes of July 9th. Has everybody been able to look at the minutes?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, this is Burrell, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Mr. Chair, I'll second him for discussion. I do have a correction, if I could, please.
Okay,
On page 4, first sentence, there is a year date up there, I believe, that needs to be corrected. On page 4, first sentence.
Page 4, first sentence.
What is the correction, Ken?
Well, if the year is incomplete.
yep. Yeah, it's got,
2021, it should say.
okay, with that correction,
I don't recall, was it 2022
No,
or
Townships.
2021?
Township said 2021.
the Dan Bravender says the township says it was 2021.
Okay, very well. Then
Okay.
I would make that correction, Mr. Chair, to read 2021.
Okay,
The motion,
Charlie, is that okay with you?
it is.
is there any other discussion? If there's no other discussion, all those in favor by roll call say aye.
Dan Bravender, aye.
Charlie?
Burrell votes aye.
Ken?
Schroeder votes aye.
Dan Mall votes aye. Is Pat hearing us? Okay, motion carries.
Bird.
Okay. First on the agenda today would be Robert Grise. Does somebody want to grab him?
Are you there, Pat? Okay, I hear some keyboarding going on, so I thought maybe that was you.
All right, the applicant is at the table. Do you want to give your name for the record, please?
Steve Bruggeman, Oak Realty.
Here.
All right. Okay, Sean, do you want to take it from here?
I assume that applicant is at the table?
Yes, there was some stuff going on when I made that announcement. Sorry.
That's fine. So, Mr. Chair, Chair, Planning Commission, you continued this item for a site inspection for the line users in Corona Township. So at the county level, we're making a decision on the rezoning. The subdivision approval would be at the township level. The property is in the land use plan as residential large lot. The lot's not on the lake shore. The larger designation of R2A, and the one lake shore lot is being proposed at R2.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add to that?
It's pretty much self-explanatory. It's in the plan, and everybody went out there and looked at it, so,
Okay.
good.
Is there anyone from the public, Sean, on?
Mr. Chair, Planning Commission, nobody called in this week indicating they wanted to make comments via the meeting. We had that comment from last week that's in the staff report. I believe one of the concerns was about the marginal nature of the lake shore and balloon nesting and such.
Okay. Then if there's nothing from the public, comments come back up here. Ken or Charlie? Yes, Charlie.
I just thought it was, what's being proposed out there is just very, very fitting for the area. I think it would, it's just, like Kirk said, it's kind of bad that we, nothing can ever be so exactly perfect when they made this plan, 20 years ago, but I think that I would be supportive of this. I just think it makes sense for that area.
Okay. Ken?
Did you say Ken?
Yes, Ken.
Well, I was on the site visit as well. I can understand the request for the R2A, the R2, the lot, what would that be, lot number 1, lot 2. We do have that ordinance of a second tier prohibition, I guess you'd call it. I did question and still do question why two non-contiguous parcels like this have the same PID. I was of the thinking now, I'm okay with the shoreland lot. The further west lots, looks like lot number 1 and 2, block 1. This whole area, I believe, is zoned ag res, is that correct, Sean?
Mr. Chair, Planning Commission, the property is currently zoned agriculture. The land,
Sorry, I meant to say land use plan, I'm sorry.
so the land use plan, you can see the plan, it's up on display. The majority of that area is residential large lot. You are correct in saying in most circumstances, we prohibit secondary lakeshore lots, but the land use plan does read unless allowed for by the land use plan. So then it's up to the Planning Commission and the county board to address the land use plan for the non-lakeshore lots.
Yeah, well, I guess if I had my preference, I would like to see lots 1 and 2, block 1, in other words, the most westerly 2 lots, large lot meaning, meaning the ag res standards. That portion of the parcel to the east, I guess that may fit in with the rest of the surrounding areas, but I really got a problem with that western portion. That's my opinion.
Okay. Dan Bravender?
Okay, a couple things here. First of all, on the two lots that Commissioner Ken was referring to, it's, I can't read it, I think it's 7.23 acres, is that right? On one and 5.62 on
Correct.
the other? So it's between the 5 and 10 acres, which is ag res, right, for, according to our land use plan? Is that right, Sean?
Member Bravender, I missed a little bit of that, but it sounds like the question is, AR in the land use plan is defined as minimum 10 acre lots.
Okay,
Residential lots, residential large lot is guided for 5 to 10 acre lots. And R2 is only allowed in riparian circumstances. So I think that's the reason you're seeing the dual zoning with the R2A lots being 5 to 10 acres, the residential large lot, and then the R2 lot being under 5 acres on the lakeshore.
okay, thank you. If this were broken off of a large piece of ag ground, it might be a different scenario. This is isolated, it's completely surrounded by, on the south and the west, or the east, trees, or the road, and then on the other side, the north and the west is by trees. I think that it fits well for the area. And Corinna Town Board and the Corinna Township both like the plan. And over to the east now, when we were out doing the site inspections, one of the things that we had was a weed problem in the field. And those need to be addressed rather quickly.
I believe they already have,
Okay, they already have?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Because that's,
Hold on, Dan. Mr. Bravender has the floor.
I can't hear.
Oh,
can you hear me now?
No, I can't. I missed most of what you said previously.
Ken, can you turn your microphone setting up?
Surely.
I found that helps for listening to
try to pull that a
the
little
people
closer.
in the county boardroom.
Gotta figure out how to do it here.
Don't disconnect yourself.
I pulled the mic closer to me, Ken, does that help?
It helps a great deal, Commissioner.
Oh, good. Do you want me to repeat everything?
If you wouldn't mind, please.
Okay, on those two lots to the west, it's a total acreage of 12 acres. And because it's isolated and it fits well in with the plan that they want to do with these lots here in Corinna Township and the Corinna Planning and Zoning, like the way these are laid out, I don't have a problem with it. And then onto the east lots, I had talked about when we did the site inspection, there was a weed problem out there, if you remember that.
Yes.
And that has been taken care of already, I guess, according to the applicant. So those were my concerns.
All right. Sean, can you bring up the law, one of the maps that shows where Sugar Lake lays in proximity? Yeah. If you look at Sugar Lake, and Sugar Lake is a large lake in that area, and this is all within Corinna Township, and Sugar Lake has been developing around it. If you go to the west side of Sugar Lake, it's very common to have these sides of lots and the development that's been going on. So if you say immediately in that area, this may or may not fit, but if you look in the overall area of Sugar Lake and the development that has been going on around Sugar Lake and in that area, this is very normal for the growth out there. I'm very familiar with it. That's why I did not go to the site inspection. This is my home tromping ground. So I mean, I'm very familiar with the land and what's these fields, and I've been on these fields. For splitting it up and what they're asking to do, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I think the lots are of that size where it's going to be very common to what you're gonna see. You're gonna see some of this other land around it probably be getting developed also with some of these township roads that are coming into Sugar Lake in the Indian Lake area. And if you go to the other side of Sugar Lake, it's already been happening for several years. So, and the township has been managing it. They've got their own planning and zoning out there. So I guess I'm okay with it. So, is there any other comments?
Chairman Mull, this is Commissioner Mulberg, can you hear me?
Yep.
The development that you're talking about in other areas around Sugar Lake, is that these large lots that are non-riparian? I mean, are we building out these large lots?
Absolutely.
Is off of the lake?
Yes. Yes. We rezoned some here a few years ago. The Warner's Resort
Preserves of Sugar Lake.
was sold, and these lots were on land that we used to farm for many years, and it all went into that size lots, smaller lots, and then they have a large area that's still, open that can't be developed because it was 100-some acres. And a large portion of the lake shore was all developed. It was a campground originally. You get on just a little bit further to the south of that is what used to be the Beckman development, we called it for many years, and that's all smaller lots off of the lake. Some of them touched a lagoon that was dug in to be able to do that. Now on the other side of it, there's been development across Ireland Avenue. So it's very common on the west side of the lake, and what's being proposed here, you're going to see more of it on this side of the lake in time. It's a desirable area for people to come and live permanently.
Yeah, thanks, and I get that. I mean, part of the concern that I have, it is probably similar to Commissioner Felger's, which is over on, I think it's block 1, lots 1 and 2 on the west. And I have a bit of a similar concern as to block 2, lot 4, where this really is, I think, secondary development or tertiary development off of the lake shore. But the extent that the township has been actively accommodating that sort of development, as you just described, lays a little bit of that concern to rest for me.
Yeah, and within the township, if you go further to the south and the west, Cedar Lake has got development, off of Cedar Lake. A lot of homes on township roads that are, there's no lake access or anything in that area within the township. So it's not inconsistent with what Corinna Township is doing or has been doing for many years.
And am I correct, Sean, that it's not inconsistent with the land use plan designations for that, like what you have up there now shows these as having been planned as residential large lots?
Sean, did you hear Pat?
I'm sorry, I wasn't on. Yes, I think the debate is interesting here is because we're not used to seeing such a large area of land now on the lake in residential large lots. And it goes back quite a few years, a number of land use plans ago. But it is what it is. By definition, residential large lot is defined as 12 to 10 acres with only R2 or R1 allowed if it's lake shore. And then it is interesting to look at the zoning map where most of that land is still agriculture and the land that has been developed, has been done in AR 10-acre lots. Perhaps residential large lot just was not conducive on those properties.
Does that help you, Pat?
It's informative. I don't know that it helps me make a decision one way or the other, but I appreciate the information.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ken?
Mr. Chair, Sean, I recall that zoning over on the west side of Sugar Lake, and there was a number of acres to the west. If I recall, some of it was left ag, if I'm not mistaken, but weren't there some larger lots back there to the west of the shoreline, way to beyond the lakeshore lots?
Yeah.
What size were those?
Commission member Felger, Planning Commission, I'm completely going off of just memory on this. I don't have it in front of me, did not research. But what I'm recalling is on the lake shore, we did R1 because it was riparian. And I know it was in the land use plan. So it was either a PUD, but I don't recall leaving an outlot or miscellaneous land. So I'm pretty confident whatever we did allow conformed with the land use plan designation.
Something sticks in my mind that those lots to the west were like 10-acre minimum, if there were, but just a handful. I don't remember the name of the plat.
Right, and that was Corinne also sold through the Townsville. It could have been, they could have been 10-acre lots. I remember there being lots on the west side of the road, not Lake Shore. I don't think those were 10 acres.
Sean, this is Jan. I have a question for you. Now, the lots that we're talking about that would be 10 acres, is that, that would meet the zoning ordinance, so wouldn't it?
So, yes, can you hear me, Jan?
Yes. Yeah.
So if the question is about the land use plan, the land use plan is in front of you, and this property is in residential large lot. As far as zoning goes, whatever zoning designation is decided upon, the standards have to meet the zoning ordinance. If it's AR, they have to be 10 acres. If it's large lot, R2A, they have to be 5 acres. This piece is in the land use plan as residential large lot. It's a plan. That does not mean it's a guarantee. The Planning Commission and the County Board will rezone at that designation. But as proposed, the rezoning request matches with the land use plan. And the initial subdivision, which would be reviewed by Corinna, those lots would meet the zoning district's performance requirements.
Just for clarification, one last time here, Sean, this is Commissioner Felger. The proposal meets the residential large lot standards as the land use plan states. 5 to 10 acres, in other words.
Correct, similar to AR that has a definition.
Right. Okay, well, that answers my question, Sean. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other comments?
Mr. Chair, Sean, this is Commissioner Felger. The proposal meets the residential large lot standards as the land use plan states. 5 to 10 acres, in other words. Right. Okay, well, that answers my question, Sean. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other comments?
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Mr. Bravender is prepared to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for approval of the rezoning to the County Board of Commissioners to rezone the riparian portion of the property from ag, general agriculture, and S2 residential recreational shorelands to R2 suburban residential, minimum 2.5 acre lot standard. And the balance that is non-riparian from ag, general agriculture, and S2 residential recreational shorelands to R2A suburban residential, minimum 5 acre lot standard. Because the board feels it meets the criteria laid out in the land use plan and the town board approves.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chair, I'll second that, Mr. Brown.
All right, I have a motion made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Is there any other discussion? If not, we'll go to a roll call vote. Go ahead and vote and state your name, please.
Mr. Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Felger votes aye.
Commissioner Township votes aye.
What'd she say?
What
Lawler votes
what was that, Janice? What was your vote?
Mine?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay.
Bravender votes aye.
Maul votes aye. Motion carries.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll have a little pause here, clean the table, and get the next applicant in. Can you give your name for the record?
Ben Vosepka.
Thank you.
All right, Sean, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Planning Commission, the property is located in Rockford Township on the southeast side of Crawford. For a point of reference, my pointer is on what is known as the Foley pit. Property is in the zoning of agriculture. In the land use plan as ag residential. The property is this parcel and that parcel combined. This is the approximate pit location. We have topography for existing conditions, the mining plan, stormwater plan, and a restoration plan. This time, the initial issue is, the township hasn't given formal response. They want to review and discuss some more. I think they want to do a site inspection. And they have indicated, they are very unlikely to want to haul trucks to go down Briarwood. The county highway department has given us a response that, they do not want to access from the property directly onto the county road. They want it off Briarwood. So because of not having a township response and perhaps needing to do a site inspection, this needs to be continued anyhow. But the applicant wants to come in and discuss the details of this project.
Okay. Is that all you have, Sean?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give you the floor to the applicant to explain what you're wanting to do.
Well, you see it of mine, and like he said, I'm just not sure where the road is gonna come out. The county highway department wants it to come out to Briarwood, which one of those, if he flicks back, one shows where I'd like to bring the road out. Can I just point to it?
Yeah.
Here it is, right here. So this road is existing here, and then this is not. This is where I'd like to bring it out, which this is also owned by us, and it's also a field. I got a little bit of woods to go through. But other than that, I just wanted to get a meeting under my belt with you guys. I was told it would probably take 2 anyway, and then probably a site inspection before the next one.
And then also township.
Township, I see them on the 4th.
Okay, so you're on their agenda already?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Their new rules, there's a list, and I'm top on their list now.
Okay.
For pits. And they only allow 3 open at a time now, and they just declared 1 done.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get that position filled.
Okay.
And I guess, other than that road coming out, I'd like to know from you guys if there's anything else you guys need from me before my next meeting with you.
Right. Sean, is there anybody from the public that has commented or that is on?
Mr. Chair, Planning Commission, just the comments that were submitted by writing in the staff report, and nobody requesting to join and comment at the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Is there any of the board members that would like to comment? Then if nobody has any comment right now for giving the applicant any directions, do we want to continue and set a site inspection?
Mr. Chair, I would make such a motion.
That was Ken Felger making a motion for a site inspection, a continuance and a site inspection. Would that be continuing to the next meeting?
I'll second that, Dan.
Okay.
Dan.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second now. To clarify, that would be, what's the date of the next meeting?
We are in July
30th.
30th, so we're looking at August 20th.
Okay, the next meeting would be a,
August
20.
20th.
okay?
Okay, that worked for me.
Is that good with the motion, Ken?
Yes, sir.
Jan? Okay, thank you. Is there any other discussion? There's no other discussion. We'll go to a roll call vote for setting a site inspection and continuing to August 20th. Charlie?
I'll vote aye, but I may not be able to make the meeting on the 20th. What time
I would think,
I assume the same protocol, Charlie.
Oh, like 1 o'clock?
Yeah, what time's your meeting?
I have something going on. I 1 o'clock, I might take it. I'll hold it.
I'm open.
okay, Ken,
Felger votes aye.
Pat,
Aye.
Janice,
Aye.
Ravender, aye.
Mal, aye. Motion carries. We'll continue this and we'll set for a site inspection. And being there's nothing else on the agenda that I know of, when do we,
Mr. Chair?
yes?
Mr. Chair and John, I think it may be appropriate that we would have some township officials out there as well.
Correct, I've already informed them that I will be contacting them about the site inspection of what is set.
Very well, thank you.
Okay, what,
We'll need to pick a date after the site inspection, correct, Mr. Chair?
correct, I was just gonna say that, Charlie. When do you people have available for a site inspection? Let's not all speak at once.
Well, I would just prefer that it be either, later in the week or earlier in the week,
Give
not in the middle of the week.
give us a date.
You know, I'm open on days, I just wouldn't want it to be on a Wednesday.
What, 13th?
I cannot.
Well,
It's put off by-
August 6th in the afternoon, does that work for everyone? If we're done by 2:30.
Does August 14th work for everybody or anybody?
You're talking about August 6th, is that what it is?
No,
Dan?
August 14th, 1/4.
1/4.
Afternoon.
Okay from all, Bert.
Okay, for Felger.
Okay, what,
Yes, okay.
1 o'clock here at the courthouse to go out there, we'll drive ourselves.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair, what time at the site? 1:15?
Yeah,
15-minute drive.
yeah, 1:15 to 1:20.
1:15 at the site, August 14th.
Correct. Is that good with everyone?
yep,
Okay, that's what we'll do. August 14th, 1 PM here at the courthouse or 1:15 at the site.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that as a motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Albert, second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? If not, signify by saying aye with a roll call. Charlie?
Bravo time.
Ken?
Felger votes aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Janice?
aye.
Aye.
Ravender, aye. Mal, aye. Motion carries. Sean, do we have anything else that we need to talk about? Sean?
I do not have anything.
Okay.
Thank you for tolerating this forum.
All right, if we do not have anything else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, just say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.